The Weight of Anger and the Path to Inner Peace. The great Buddha once shared a powerful truth. You will not be punished for your anger, you will be punished by your anger. This simple yet profound statement reminds us that anger does not just harm those around us, it also weighs heavily on our own hearts and minds. Holding on to anger is like carrying a burning coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. In the end, it is our own hands that get burned. But how do we cultivate inner tranquility when life throws challenges our way? How do we free ourselves from the emotional chains of anger, resentment, and negativity? The wisdom of Buddhism provides timeless lessons that can guide us toward peace. These teachings encourage us to act as if nothing bothers us, not in a way that suppresses our emotions, but in a way that allows us to rise above them. Join us as we explore 7 profound principles that can help us master the art of detachment, inner serenity, and emotional balance. Principle 1. Listen twice as much as you speak. In a world where everyone is eager to be heard, there is immense power in listening. True listening is more than just hearing words. It is about understanding the heart behind them. The Buddha once said, "To understand everything is to forgive everything." This quote reveals a deep connection between understanding and compassion. The more we listen, the more we connect with the emotions, thoughts, and experiences of others. By choosing to listen rather than react impulsively, we cultivate patience, empathy, and wisdom. Many people listen only to respond, not to understand. But when we shift our focus toward truly hearing what others are saying, something remarkable happens. We become more aware of the emotions behind the words. We strengthen our relationships and deepen our connections. We learn to control our own reactions rather than being controlled by emotions. Listening doesn't mean we have to agree with everything we hear. It simply means we are open to learning about different perspectives, learning about the struggles of others, and most importantly, learning about ourselves. This principle extends beyond personal conversations. It applies to listening to the silence, listening to nature, and listening to our own inner voice. Sometimes, the most profound wisdom comes not from words, but from quiet reflection. So, why should we listen more than we speak? Because when we listen, we grow. When we listen, we gain clarity. When we listen, we strengthen the bonds that connect us to others. In the words of Epictetus, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. By mastering this principle, we unlock greater peace, wisdom, and understanding, not just of others, but of ourselves. Principle 2. Don't let the comments and attitudes of others control your life. Imagine walking through a beautiful forest. The trees sway gently in the breeze, the sunlight filters through the leaves, and the path ahead is uniquely yours. Now, along the way, you encounter different signposts. Some encourage you to move forward, while others tell you to turn back. These signposts represent the opinions and judgments of others. The Buddha once said, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment." This wisdom teaches us a crucial lesson. Your life is your journey. Don't let others dictate your direction. Many people live their lives seeking validation from those around them, constantly worrying about how they are perceived. They allow the words, judgments, and criticisms of others to shape their actions, thoughts, and even their sense of self-worth. But the truth is, no matter what you do, people will always have their opinions. What happens when we let others control our lives? We make decisions based on fear rather than intuition. We suppress our true selves, trying to fit into a mold that society or others expect of us. We become mentally exhausted, always second-guessing ourselves. But when we choose not to be controlled by external opinions, we step into our true power. This doesn't mean ignoring everyone's advice. It simply means that we filter out the noise and focus on what aligns with our inner wisdom. Think of it this way: a tree does not stop growing just because someone thinks it is too tall. A river does not stop flowing because someone says it is too strong. The same applies to you. You are not here to live according to someone else's script. You are here to walk your own path, make your own choices, and embrace your own unique journey. How can we stop letting others control us? 1. Develop self-awareness. Ask yourself, am I making this decision because it truly feels right, or because I'm afraid of what others will think? 2. Practice emotional detachment. Not every opinion requires a reaction. Learn to hear criticism without taking it personally. 3. Stay rooted in your values. When you know what truly matters to you, the noise of the world becomes irrelevant. 4. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Seek those who respect your choices and encourage your growth. The moment you stop seeking approval, you start experiencing freedom. The moment you stop chasing validation, you start discovering inner peace. And most importantly, the moment you stop letting others control you, you start truly living. Principle 3. Be ready to accept the worst. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much we plan, control, or hope for the best, there will always be moments when things don't go our way. A sudden job loss, a failed relationship, a betrayal, or even unexpected hardship. These are the realities of life. The Buddha wisely said, "Pain is certain. Suffering is optional." What does this mean? It means that while pain is an unavoidable part of life, the suffering we experience comes from our resistance to that pain. We suffer when we refuse to accept what has already happened, when we cling to the past, or when we fight against the reality of the present moment. Why is accepting the worst important? Imagine you're standing in a river. If you fight against the current, you exhaust yourself. But if you accept the flow, you move with it effortlessly. Life is like that river. Challenges will come, but the more you fight against them, the more exhausted you'll become. True peace comes from surrendering to what is, instead of clinging to what was. Acceptance does not mean weakness. Many people mistake acceptance for giving up, but acceptance is not weakness, it is wisdom. It means acknowledging reality as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. It means letting go of resistance and focusing on solutions, rather than dwelling on problems. It means understanding that setbacks are part of growth, rather than a reason to despair. Think of a bamboo tree. When a storm comes, it bends, but it does not break. Why? Because it accepts the force of the wind, rather than resisting it. We must learn to be like the bamboo, flexible, resilient, and open to whatever comes. How to cultivate acceptance in your life. 1. Prepare your mind for all possibilities, so instead of fearing failure or hardship, remind yourself that challenges are a natural part of life. Accepting this reality makes setbacks less shocking and more manageable. 2. Detach from specific outcomes. We suffer when we expect life to unfold exactly as we planned. Let go of rigid expectations and be open to alternative possibilities. 3. See challenges as opportunities, so instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Every difficulty carries a lesson. 4. Develop inner resilience. Just like a warrior trains for battle, train your mind to face hardships with strength. Meditation, mindfulness, and gratitude can help build mental resilience. A powerful perspective shift. Instead of fearing the worst, embrace the idea that no matter what happens, you will handle it. Because in the end, It's not what happens to us that determines our happiness. It's how we respond to what happens. When you accept the worst, you become fearless. When you stop resisting reality, you become free. And when you let go of suffering, you find peace. Principle 4. Don't be afraid of failing. It's the only way to progress. Failure is one of the biggest fears that hold people back. We often associate failure with shame, weakness, or inadequacy. But in reality, failure is not the opposite of success. It is the path to success. The Buddha once said, "Each morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most." This wisdom reminds us that no matter how many times we fail, we always have a fresh start. Every day is a new opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. Why failure is necessary for growth. Imagine a child learning to walk. The first few steps are clumsy and they often fall, but do they stop trying? They get back up again and again until walking becomes second nature. Life is the same way. Every failure is a step toward mastery. Great inventors, successful leaders, and wise thinkers all have something in common. They failed many times before they succeeded. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each mistake, each misstep, and each failed attempt is actually progress in disguise. Failure is a teacher, not an enemy. Failure teaches us valuable lessons that success never could. It builds resilience, the ability to keep going despite difficulties. It forces self-reflection, making us look at what went wrong and how we can improve. It humbles us, reminding us that we are always learning, always growing. How to overcome the fear of failure. 1. Change your perspective on failure, or instead of seeing failure as something bad, see it as a learning experience. Every mistake carries a lesson that will help you do better next time. 2. Take action. Despite fear, don't let fear stop you from trying. Fear exists only in the mind. When you take action, you prove to yourself that failure is not the end. It's a stepping stone. 3. Detach your self-worth from outcomes. You are not defined by your successes or failures. Your value comes from your character, effort, and willingness to grow. 4. Celebrate your failures. Each failure means you are pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. Celebrate your progress rather than fearing mistakes. A new way to view life. Think of life as a great artist sculpting a masterpiece. Each mistake is a necessary part of the process, shaping us into something better and more refined. If you never fail, you are not growing. If you never make mistakes, you are not trying hard enough. And if you never take risks, you will never discover your full potential. So, embrace failure, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Because in the end, success is simply failure that refused to give up. Principle 5. Keep it simple, finding clarity and peace in simplicity. In the modern world, we are often caught in the trap of overcomplication. We chase too many things at once: success, wealth, recognition, believing that more will bring happiness. But often the opposite is true. True peace is found in simplicity. The Buddha once said, "The way is not in the sky, the way is in the heart." This profound wisdom teaches us that fulfillment does not come from external achievements or material possessions, but from inner clarity and a life aligned with what truly matters. Why simplicity brings peace. Imagine your mind as a cluttered room. It is filled with unnecessary distractions, expectations, and worries. The more cluttered the space, the harder it is to move freely. Now, picture cleaning that room, removing things that don't serve you, creating open space, and keeping only what truly brings value. This is what simplicity does for your life. When we remove unnecessary complexity, we gain more time for the things that truly matter, less stress from unnecessary burdens, more mental clarity to make wise decisions, a deeper connection to the present moment. What it means to keep life simple: 1. Prioritize what truly matters instead of chasing every opportunity. Focus on what brings real value to your life: relationships, personal growth, and peace of mind. 2. Let go of excess. This applies not just to physical possessions, but also to mental clutter, overthinking, worrying about the past, or obsessing over things beyond your control. 3. Enjoy the small joys of life. A quiet morning, a meaningful conversation, the sound of birds singing. Happiness is found in the simplest of things when we slow down and pay attention. Say no to unnecessary commitments. We often overextend ourselves, believing we must say yes to everything. But simplicity means recognizing that your time and energy are precious and choosing carefully how you spend them. The beauty of a simple life. Think of nature. The sun rises and sets. The rivers flow effortlessly. Trees grow without hurry. There is harmony in simplicity. By simplifying your life, you align with the natural flow of existence, free from unnecessary stress and distractions. Remember, the richest life is not the one filled with things, but the one filled with peace, clarity, and meaning. So ask yourself, what unnecessary burdens am I carrying? What distractions can I let go of? How can I simplify my life today? When you embrace simplicity, you make space for true joy and inner peace. Principle 6. Practice humility in your life. Humility is one of the most underrated yet powerful qualities that leads to wisdom and inner peace. In today's world, where self-promotion and competition are encouraged, we often forget the profound strength that lies in being humble. The Buddha once said, "A man is not called wise because he talks and talks again, but if he is peaceful, loving, and fearless, then he is in truth called wise." This statement reminds us that wisdom is not about speaking the loudest or seeking recognition. It is about embodying qualities like peace, love, and fearlessness in our daily lives. Why humility matters. Many people mistake humility for weakness or a lack of confidence, but in reality, it is a sign of true inner strength. A humble person does not seek validation from others. They do not boast about their knowledge or achievements. They recognize that learning is a lifelong process and remain open to new perspectives. Humility allows us to grow. Imagine a glass already full of water. If you try to pour more into it, everything overflows. There is no room for new knowledge. But if the glass is half full, it can still receive more. This is the essence of humility. It creates space for growth, learning, and self-improvement. How to cultivate humility. 1. Listen more, speak less. Instead of trying to prove yourself, focus on understanding others. Truly listen to their perspectives and experiences without judgment. 2. Acknowledge that you don't know everything. No matter how much wisdom we gain, there is always more to learn. The wisest people in history are those who remained students throughout life. 3. Accept your mistakes with grace. A humble person does not fear being wrong. They accept their mistakes, learn from them, and move forward with a better understanding. 4. Recognize the value of every person. Humility allows us to see the beauty in every individual, regardless of their background or status. Everyone has something valuable to teach us. The power of humility in daily life. Think of the tallest trees in a forest. They bend with the wind. If they were rigid and refused to move, they would eventually break. Similarly, when we let go of pride and ego, we become more adaptable and resilient. Humility brings peace, wisdom, and deeper connections with those around us. It allows us to approach life with curiosity instead of arrogance, strengthen relationships by valuing others' contributions, stay calm and balanced even when challenged. Reflect on this. When was the last time I truly listened without trying to respond? Do I accept that I still have much to learn in life? How can I practice humility in my daily interactions? By embracing humility, we move closer to inner peace and true wisdom, not by speaking loudly, but by living in a way that inspires others. Principle 7, be aware of the dangers of fortune. In a world that constantly pushes us to chase wealth, status, and possessions, it is easy to believe that success is measured by how much we own. However, Buddhism teaches us that true wealth is not found in material things, but in inner peace, contentment, and meaningful relationships. The Buddha once said, "Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship." These words remind us that the things we often take for granted, our health, peace of mind, and loyal connections with others, are far more valuable than any riches we could accumulate. The illusion of wealth and success. Many people spend their lives chasing money, luxury, and status, believing that these things will bring them lasting happiness. Yet, how often do we see wealthy individuals who are still dissatisfied, anxious, or lonely? Material possessions can be lost. A luxurious home, a fancy car, or expensive clothing may bring temporary joy, but they do not guarantee peace of mind. Success can lead to attachment. When we become obsessed with maintaining wealth or status, we develop fear of losing it, which only increases stress and anxiety. More is never enough. The mind always craves more. Once we achieve one goal, we immediately set another, creating an endless cycle of wanting and never being satisfied. This is why the Buddha warned against attachment to fortune. It is not wealth itself that is dangerous, but our dependence on it for happiness. The true meaning of wealth. The Buddha's teaching reminds us that true fortune lies in the things money cannot buy. Good health. Without health, no amount of wealth can bring happiness. Contentment. Appreciating what we already have leads to peace. Loyal relationships. Meaningful connections bring more fulfillment than possessions. A person who is grateful for life's simple blessings is far richer than someone who has everything but still feels empty inside. How to free yourself from the trap of fortune. 1. Practice gratitude. Instead of focusing on what you lack, appreciate what you already have. The more grateful you are, the less you feel the need to chase more. 2. Detach from materialism. Enjoy wealth, but do not let it define your happiness. Learn to live simply and appreciate life beyond possessions. 3. Invest in relationships, not things. Money can buy comfort, but it cannot buy love, loyalty, or true companionship. Prioritize people over possessions. 4. Redefine success, or ask yourself, what does success truly mean to me? If the answer is only financial, then your happiness will always be fragile. Reflection. Do I measure my success by material things or by inner peace? Am I constantly chasing more, or do I appreciate what I have? What small step can I take today to detach from material attachments? When we free ourselves from the illusion that wealth equals happiness, we begin to experience true abundance, the kind that cannot be taken away. The path to inner peace and wisdom. As we conclude this journey through the timeless wisdom of Buddhism, one profound truth emerges. Inner peace is not something we find outside of ourselves, but something we cultivate within. Each principle we explored offers a practical guide to living a more mindful, serene, and fulfilling life. Listen twice as much as you speak, cultivate understanding, deepen relationships, and develop true wisdom. Don't let others control your emotions. Free yourself from external opinions and focus on your own path. Be ready to accept the worst, develop resilience, and find peace in life's unpredictability. Don't fear failure. Learn, grow, and embrace each setback as a step towards success. Keep life simple, avoid unnecessary complexity, and find contentment in the present moment. Practice humility. True wisdom comes from being open to learning, not from boasting. Be aware of the dangers of fortune. Chase inner peace, not material wealth, for lasting fulfillment. The secret to true freedom. Buddhism teaches that suffering often comes from attachment to desires, to expectations, to external validation. When we let go of this need for control, we open ourselves to a life of peace, clarity, and joy. Imagine a river. It does not resist the rocks in its path, nor does it fight against the current. It simply flows, adapting, adjusting, and moving forward. In the same way, when we stop clinging to things beyond our control, we free ourselves from suffering. You don't need to be perfect to find peace. You don't need to have everything figured out. You simply need to live with awareness, gratitude, and acceptance. A final reflection. Before you move on with your day, take a moment to reflect. What is one attachment that is weighing me down? How can I practice letting go today? Which Buddhist principle spoke to me the most? The journey to wisdom and peace is not about knowing, it is about practicing. May these teachings serve as a reminder that inner peace is always within reach, waiting for you to embrace it. If you found this insight valuable, remember to share it with others who may also be seeking wisdom. Let's continue to grow, learn, and walk the path toward a more mindful and meaningful life. Thank you for joining us on this journey. May you find clarity, peace, and the strength to live fully in the present moment.